Okay, and welcome to the audio commentary for DWaHMoV. I guess we'll start out with introductions. Gocnak.
Hello everyone, my name is Gocnak. I'm a major runner of DWaHMoV. I have 83 segments and I'm really happy with this run.
Hi, I'm Matmo. I'm the other major runner in DWaHMoV, and I got 55 segments, and like Gocnak, I'm really happy.
Hello, I'm Pruno. I have 20 segments in this run, and I'm really excited.
Alright. I'm Darwin. I got 7 segments in this run and also did some teaser trailer work. And yeah, I'm excited.
Hello, my nickname is YaLTeR. I got 2 segments, but only one of them ended up in the final video. And yeah, I'm happy with the run as well.
Sorry about that.
My name is S. I got 7 segments, and I am, just like the others, very excited.
Hey guys, this is Zimbabwe. I got 9 segments in the run, and fuck the other guys, this run sucks.
We needed that. Icebreaker.
Hello, I'm UnrealCanine. I got 4 segments, and fuck them. This one is great. You're gonna love
It really is. Great start.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best starts a speedrun could have.
Easily.
Just look at this.
Supercharged, AVH, and a collision boost.
Yeah, this run starts off pretty, like there's this train ride of course, but once the train ride is done, it's just all over the place.
Yeah. I had to break this table because we couldn't find out how to teleport with the stuff that was on the table. So, and I couldn't save with this piece of wood in my hand because if I did, it just floated in midair. Like, it just stood there. And
Welcome to the Source engine.
Yeah.
Source Engine has a lot of random stuff.
If you break any sort of object and hold a shard of a box or something and save, it'll just float in midair. There's no way to stop that.
Oh, and teleporting obviously is this we're doing right now. Thudding them on the head so they move.
You're gonna see a lot more of that throughout the run.
Yeah.
Gordon is very mean to his co-workers.
Bossing them.
Yeah, he hates everyone, really. Because everybody who's close to him, he'll just slam them in the head with a book or whatever.
Yeah.
Or stare at their
So
ass.
He's
Yeah,
also
it's-
really OCD. He likes cleaning up by stacking buckets on chairs with a lamp on top.
Blood puddle on the floor.
And do whatever he does. Sit in the corners and cry.
Yeah.
So after that really explosive launch right off the bat,
We have-
Yeah,
got
we
a-
get this.
We have a few cutscenes to wait through.
Yeah.
It's not really until canals on where it picks up like big time.
Yeah, one thing I think all of you guys will agree with is that this run, and it really surprised me even as I was watching it, you know, even having seen it all before in all of the segments, but it starts out really strong, but as it goes on, like, it just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really shows that we started this so long ago, and we like learned along the way, got better, and I guess we just paid more attention to details even.
Yeah. For example, segmenting, we start to segment a lot more later on in the run as we realize that harder things come along later in the run. So you'll notice that we do most of these, especially the airboat segments, we do in one segment because of something else we'll explain later when we get there.
Collision boost here.
Oh yeah, that was really nice.
I found it.
So here we use this box to sort of pester the guard into hitting us a couple of extra times, knocks us out faster.
Yeah, the second guard is the one that knocks you out. The first guard takes 2 blows, like takes you 2 hits to get knocked out. So targeting that second guard with the box or throwing something at him targets him to come to you and beat you out, like beat you and knock you out.
What is that box even? It's not. I thought it was a Chinese food box, but it's not.
No, it looks like a screw box actually. Like
Yeah,
old
it's probably
screws.
something like it makes
It was
sense
on a
because
workbench.
it's next. Yeah, it's on a work table.
Yeah.
Cutscenes.
Yeah, we're about to hit a lot of boring and long cutscenes where we don't do anything really interesting apart from teleporting, I guess.
Yeah, and there's plenty of stuff to do in that room though, in Kleiner's lab, but that gets boring after having grinded the segment for like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Like
I think we do our best though to like keep it interesting.
Yeah.
As much as you can, being stuck in a room.
Yeah. Like you can climb on stuff in that room and you can like try and break the mini teleporter, but yeah, that gets boring after a while, so you're just like, I just want to sit in a corner and wait. Obviously you can't do that either, because you have to do the teleports in order to save time.
You could do what Sim did in the beginning of Portal Dump Pro, where
Yeah.
just stay there for like a minute. Literally tab out.
But yeah,
just staying there perfectly still.
You can't do that because, you know, you have teleports to take care of.
Yeah, I think in general, who got this segment, this Kleiner?
I did. This was done on my old computer, which is...
Yeah.
And it was recorded at a different field of view, which is why it's kind of shaky and laggy a little.
So that's what's up with all the jittering and stuttering.
The jittering appears if you capture at a higher FPS than your record demo scene.
So yeah, host frame rate probably was lower. So once again, OCD Gordon putting everything inside of that vent.
Yeah, if you see a cutscene segment in this run, it's probably going to be Matmo. He is the god of teleporting.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do almost all the cutscenes, apart from I think like 2.
I think he was the only one that was willing to sit around and grind attempts on them.
Matmo was the only one patient enough to sit through the cutscene. Like they're long cutscenes as well. Like this one is like 8 minutes. No, maybe not that extreme.
But it's split into 2 segments.
No, it's not that extreme. It's like 6 minutes.
Yeah,
but
6 minutes.
It is very long.
Yeah, if you screw up a teleport at the very end of the segment, then you can sit through the entire cutscene again. So, you know, that would break down most people like within hours.
Which is actually what happens with this segment.
How long did you spend on this segment, Matmo?
I don't know how long total I spent on it, but one day I just decided to spend a good 8 hours in front of the computer just grinding this segment over and over, and I eventually got it.
Yeah.
It was tiring.
I think most of us have done that for one segment at least, because you know, for the shorter segments at least, like some segments involve getting some stupid random ABH runs or you know, whatever.
Random. Like random stuff you have to work on for so long, just obviously because it's random.
I know the longest segment overall took like 70 days to complete. That was in the very beginning, so all things taken, there was like, it was at the very beginning, so there wasn't that much hype around this run yet. But actually in the beginning of the second map you saw us clip through a guard, and keeping all your speed while clipping through that guard and not slamming into a park bench was extremely random. And I spent like a good 48 hours on that, maybe a bit less in total, spread over the course of like 70 days.
Damn. Well, it shows. It's a good segment.
I think that was the segment we were on when I like joined in with this project and started to help out.
Yeah.
Because the segment
was
after
it really
was the
that
first one I
early?
attempted.
I think that's what segment was.
FOV jump.
Oh, yeah, there you go. FOV skip.
What you just saw there was a field of view jump. Basically, we're going from 75 field of view to 90, and then it just looks completely retarded.
This is the only time it happens in the run,
Yeah,
right?
it's going to be 90 for the rest of the run.
Yeah.
I was the only one stupid enough to record in 75.
Well, it wasn't as emphasized back then as it was like after that. Like we made our note on our.
It was a
our
good
nighttime
thing
sheet
that
after that.
you know, this is a cutscene map, so it's a bit more fair to compare the run to Half-Life 2 done quick. And I actually made a comparison video, and I noticed, hey, the FOV jumps. If I hadn't made that comparison video, we would have found out a lot later, and we'd have a lot more of those FOV jumps.
Yeah.
Because apparently FOV gets saved in the demo recording.
For some stupid reason.
Yeah, we tried a good while trying to find a way around it, but there was nothing.
Yeah, I remember us trying so hard to find anything, but just wouldn't do it.
No console.
Like it seems like when you get your suit is when it wants to FOV jump. Anything before that, it's just stuck at 70, which is a really ugly FOV, especially on computers.
Yeah,
That's why it's recommended to go to 90 at least when you're up this close.
It's really weird that it's not the default setting.
Yeah, this game came out in 2004 though, so a lot of defaults were really weird.
I know, but like they have been updating it. Obviously, since our run is so much different to the old one.
Yeah. HD remake.
Isn't 90 default in Counter-Strike?
Yeah, and in more recent games, it's default 90 or 70. It just depends on what's in the game. Isn't like you were talking about like Operation or not Operation Metro. Metro 2033 Last Light. The FOV was like stuck at 70 and it was ugly or something.
Yeah, that was Last Light.
Yeah, not 65 even. Yeah, they had an issue not only with the original Metro 2033, but with the new one also. And the new one didn't even have a workaround where you could edit a config file. So people bitched, and finally the developers like added a variable to the config file so you could change it.
Yeah, but that just shows that FOV is definitely very important for speedrunners because, and I mean heavy gamers as well, like people that spend a lot of time staring into the.
I'm not one of those. I'm one of those not so few people that actually get headaches well, my head hurts really if the FOV is too low. I'll just stare at the screen for too long.
Yeah, and for console games it doesn't matter that much because you're sitting further away from the screen.
And it's a bigger screen even.
Yeah. So that's why FOV is really important in PC gaming.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Breen was still sitting there. This is done on engine 5135, which is before Steam Pipe. So this run is a little bit old now. It actually, it is old. Engine,
Steam Pipe was so close to fucking us over.
Yeah.
Because what that is, it's like a new way of storing files, I guess, or converting files. Used by the Source engine games, and with that, well, a lot of glitches and bugs and skips and whatnot would be destroyed, and especially all our old demos, like from here up to, well, whenever they would have updated it, would be useless.
Like Breen, I think is when they forced it.
About Citadel 4 or 5 around there.
Yeah,
we were literally avoiding going over to Steam Pipe on purpose, like when opening Steam and Half-Life 2. Because they started
mode.
In the end.
Yeah, Gocnak and I just sat with our games on for like ever.
What I did, I was just I prevented Steam from updating the game, and what I did was run the game from the folder instead of Steam. So run the HL2.exe, and that worked.
Yeah. You can make a shortcut to HL2.exe if you have the old version and just run it like -steam -game.
But
HL2 and that works.
Once you double click Half-Life 2 in Steam and it gives you the message like Valve has to convert, Steam has to convert the files, then that exe is gone, I think. So it's like, you know, I'm never gonna open this game in Steam again, I guess.
Yeah.
They actually forced Portal. Portal is all Steam Pipe now. You have to use a workaround method to even get a non-Steam Pipe version of Portal, which really sucks.
In Portal, they fixed they actually made a really useful glitch a lot harder to do, so it's slower.
Yep.
On YaLTeR.
Yeah, I have made an unpacked version of latest non-Steam Pipe Portal and Half-Life 2, and I can also extract episodes into it so that it runs without Steam and without Steam Pipe, and it is actually faster than Steam Pipe.
Yeah, because it's pretty much all local instead of, you know, partially local, which is what I think Steam Pipe is. That's
God, that
really
part
nice
is so
AV.
sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we finally have a weapon.
Alright, so this is, in this room here that I just got into, this is Tyrone. We named him Tyrone. Oh, actually, I named him Tyrone because I did this segment, like, I think I spent a good, like, 10 hours on this segment.
Way too long.
Because teleporting him like this took, I think that's where I failed a lot. The teleports didn't always register. He didn't always go to the door like that. So I started calling him Tyrone, not out of racism, but because I was just mad at him, and he didn't have a name. Like, he doesn't say what his name is or anything, so I just gave him a name.
He does actually have a name.
Something to be mad at.
It's a
Yeah,
map.
I just can't say random NPC Citizen 01 or whatever. So
Speaking of giving NPCs name, earlier you saw me actually going through a room with a lot of barnacles. One of those barnacles would always get me, so I decided to give him a name, and his name was Steve. And I guess we'll come back to the Steve case
In
later.
Ravenholm.
Yeah, there are many Steves
Yeah.
throughout the run. That became a
Yeah.
reoccurring thing.
Basically, I called the barnacle Steve, and then I think Gocnak decided to call a
Maniac
zombie
Joe.
in Ravenholm Steve, and he didn't know that I called that barnacle Steve at that point, so it just turned into recurring team calling.
What we just did there was jumping on the manhack, by the way, to
yeah,
get into
that
the tunnel.
oh god, it wasn't really the manhack jump. I had the manhack jump down by that time, but it was the surf thing that I did after the manhack jump.
Yeah,
the
they get
surf
up onto the ladder.
tube. Yeah, that's what really fucked me over.
We're about to get some airboat action. And I guess
Yeah.
we should explain why that action gets to a halt sometimes.
Every level transition.
Every level transition, yeah.
I guess I can do that. Every time you save and load in 5135, the old version, it's fixed in Steam Pipe, but every time you save and load in the airboat, all of your speed is reset to 0 in the airboat. So you have to either save and load when you're outside of the airboat, or just not at all, because it's just faster to do everything in one go. So we do a lot of these airboat segments in one go, unless we get out, which there are some cases that we do. So you'll see this coming up on this level transition. It's so bad, but like it's kind of,
no.
we just had to deal with it.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so ugly.
It hurts to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're used to it. Because the
And
old
of-
engine had continued speed. Like Half-Life 2 Done Quick had continued speed.
Yeah.
And
It
of course
does
they had
sort
to
of
fix
help
that
us.
in Steam Pipe just when we're about to finish the run.
Yeah,
That's
when we're
perfect.
finished with the run
Fun
almost.
fact
I was so
though,
annoyed.
after this dam jump, we hit another level transition that's slightly off the route. And because we have to turn around right after that level transition, we could actually utilize the stopping glitch to
Right there, yep.
Yeah.
To just go
Yep.
right back.
Yeah, the airboat is actually exactly the same speed forwards and backwards, so we don't lose any
Yeah.
time by just reversing like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or we'd rather save time because we don't have to turn around.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, there's another glitch in Dark Energy that saves time, but that was fixed in the Steam Pipe version.
The
So
two bullets.
Pow pow.
It always get speed.
What we
Yeah,
just
the-
did, we shot it an explosive barrel on the other side of the door to blow it open.
Yeah.
Since it just looks like we
Two.
fired 2 bullets off into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to go through this main part with a lot of stuff, but we just shoot it.
And then I decide to take a little bit of a shortcut over
God,
that
that's
building.
I think
that's so
this-
hot.
this
Yeah.
jump was
Yeah.
found by Typical, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Typical found that jump.
Yeah.
and
Typical was
I'm
one of the
standing
runners from episode 1 Done Quick. He actually helped us find some routes in the very beginning of this game. No clue where he is now though, he's like enjoying
He's
life.
somewhere in Germany.
I'm pretty sure he escaped SourceRuns.
So I cut it close there. That was a really scary moment for me. I didn't know if that bridge was going to break. I literally was like yelling after I got like that bridge broken there. Because I didn't even think, sometimes that bridge does not break, even though a rocket hits it. It's so weird, I don't know why.
So
it just doesn't want to break.
This health and suits that we pick up here, that health is really convenient. That health saves like so much pain in getting segments, future segments.
Yeah.
I could just briefly explain that we get them because they, well, as you could explain it, you did it in the explanation video as well.
The
range.
Basically, there's a trigger at the end of the tunnel. I won't go into much detail about it because we're also gonna do a bit more detailed commentary. But basically, if you put the airboat past the trigger and get in, you can teleport past the trigger because that's what the game does. It teleports you into the airboat and makes you think you're actually going into it smoothly by doing a fancy camera animation.
Yeah.
The way I do that is a bit different from Half-Life 2 Done Quick, as you may have noticed. I basically found out that if you hold W just before pressing E to get out, the acceleration will continue to work during your exit animation. And at first that gave me a lot of stress, like, oh, I don't want that to happen. But I actually found a way to utilize it and get a really fast segment.
So Dom, you want to explain this segment's like competition?
We had me, Quadrazard, and S, and we're all just trying to save off ticks from this segment. Like, I think Quad got 51, 59, and then S topped that with 51, 57, and then I finally got 2 off that.
Yeah, I remember you taking quite a while, like trying really hard to beat my time as well, but in the end you did it, and I'm happy, I guess. Like, it's a really nice segment.
Really smooth. Especially that bomb that dropped down in between the like cut up pipes there. Sometimes it doesn't hit you if you go under it right.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it submerges underwater and you drive over it before it comes back up again. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Now, this segment, there's actually a funky trick that you can do with the helicopter here. You can get this helicopter stuck, and it's in this upcoming bridge that we go under. This segment was also fought for the ticks as every other airboat segment because it's very
straightforward as well.
Yeah, and it is straightforward too. That bridge that I just passed under is... The helicopter could get stuck under that, but unfortunately if you do that, the bombs cannot help you, which you're about to see coming up here.
Yeah, they give you a slight speed boost.
Yeah, if you hit them right. Like, I hit that first one to slow me down a little bit, and then these two just...
Yeah, they sped you up a lot.
You forward. Yeah.
And it's really random to get it like that.
I'm sure some people are going to wonder why we even need to take the airboat at all. You know, why we just don't ABH this section. There's actually a trigger at the end of the airboat segment in the next map, where if you don't have the airboat, you literally physically can't pass it. It's impossible.
It requires the airboat.
There's 2 gates, and neither of them you can pass without the airboat. We passed the first one by opening its intended route by bringing the airboat to it, and then we clip through the second one. But we also need to use the airboat for that clip. And so basically what would have made it worse, if we found a way to get past the first gate, we'd still have to find another way to get past the second gate. So skipping that map is unfortunately not likely.
Yeah, CH_create airboat does not work in a run. Don't even try that. It won't be. You won't be taken seriously if you.
Oh, here we have the sexiest thing in the entire run coming up right now.
Yeah.
The barrel roll.
Yep.
Barrel roll.
Barrel roll.
Dom, you want to talk a bit about that barrel roll and airboat physics, I guess?
Oh yeah, the airboat physics are just insane. It's probably just so that you can make jumps, but I remember you and Exec did a coasting airboat where you abused your gravity gun punt, and basically the airboat just floats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's practically no mass.
It's basically made of air. I think that's why they call it the Airboat.
This is
So
also really
this
good.
is the closest thing to a task skip this run has. The
Yeah.
barrel
The
falls
barrel.
off the ledge, and Gocnak slides into it to get a boost onto the bridge. It's so
lift me up.
perfect.
the perfect
Yeah.
angle and speed and everything.
Yeah, that took me like probably about 6 hours to do actually.
That whole course, like whole canals, is insane, dude.
Yeah, so see, now you get to see our speed after we lose the
Yeah.
Airboat.
This is
Yeah.
ABH to its
you-
full potential.
Yeah, you're supposed to take the Airboat to this part.
I think we saved like a
but-
minute and 12 seconds on this map.
Oh
on,
yeah.
on canals
Half-Life 2
12
done
alone,
quick.
yes.
Yeah.
So ABH is very powerful. Unfortunately, it's less powerful indoors. But yeah.
We have ASH for
Indoors.
that, or that's almost the same. It's accelerated side hopping, but basically it is just it's ABHing, but it's forwards and it's slightly angled to either.
And it is
left or right.
slower because you're holding S, which
It is
brings you
yeah, it is slower.
backwards.
You get backwards, well, speed really, I guess,
Yeah.
since you're holding S.
Yeah.
But it's useful in narrow corridors and whatnot.
I guess we also have to explain like what ABH basically is. ABH was a failed attempt to patch bunny hopping as seen in Half-Life 2 Done Quick. Currently bunny hopping was patched, but they added ABH because you can trick the game into thinking you're going forwards, but you're not going forwards, you're going backwards. But the game doesn't know that, so it tries to slow you down. You're going quite fast, so it wants to subtract speed. It subtracts from a forward speed, which is the same as adding to your backward speed, and that's why ABH works in the first place.
And ASH and AFH work too by that way because you have to hold S, which is tricking the game into thinking you're going backwards again.
Yeah.
Because you're holding S.
But you're going forwards, so
Yeah,
it's,
but you're
it's
your
subtracting
momentum
from your
from
backward
it
speed
just
and
goes forward.
thus it adds to your forward speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
trick is pretty much the sole reason we started this run in the first place because it saves so much time. It's terrifying.
Yes, we gotta give shout outs to Turay, I guess. He and someone else, I can't remember who, but they had the idea of doing canals,
Jared.
ABH.
Him and Jared.
Oh yeah, they did the Airboat part actually, the part we took the Airboat, they did that ABHing. And we were like, wow, this is insane, we gotta do the entire game like this. And then we kind of had to like laugh and cry at the same time when we found out that the thing Stirrer did wasn't possible because we had to bring the Airboat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We went over canals 11, like inch by inch. We couldn't find anything. Like
Yeah.
we were trying
Yeah,
noticing.
people were working so hard to find.
Like
a
a
way.
clip or something, or maybe going over the map, but
Yeah,
nothing.
I even
Valve
tried
made
going
that
under
map
it
so
and
well.
it just doesn't work.
Yeah, under doesn't even work either, so it's really well made. So the only like, if you could find a way through that gate, that's essentially the next big thing to do a run for.
Yeah. Canals 11 being the map where we ditched the Airboat and went ABH.
Yeah.
So at this point we have this cutscene, which is several minutes long, and then we have one more long cutscene in the run, and
It's
pretty much the rest of it is.
Well, we
action
kind of
in
have
prison.
two more long cutscenes. We have
Yeah, we have
Entanglement
Breen as
and
well.
Dark Energy.
Yeah.
Well, those are at the very end, so I guess though they don't really count. They're long, obviously, but at least there's action all the way there, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing if you're doing
Mhm.
single segment runs of this game, this cutscene and the Kleiner cutscene are really annoying. While Entanglement and Dark Energy are further in the run, so you're less likely to reset anyway. So it makes it a bit more bearable.
And you can relax while these occur.
Yeah.
Yeah, single segment runs, you get to, just chill out. You only have a couple of teleports. I should also mention that as the run goes on, Gordon gets a little bit more and more horny. So he's gonna obviously spend the time waiting around he's going to use that time, like, well.
Fighting the
Just
combines
stare.
has made him sexually frustrated.
Yeah. Fighting all of the combines that he runs past, usually.
I mean, crowbars are pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Well, not that we get the crowbar.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, not that
exactly.
we fight the combine.
True. I fought
Gordon
combine
does
once.
not reflect SourceRuns in any way. It's his own thoughts and acts.
Yeah.
We have nothing to do with them.
It's not our fault.
we
He's
just
a childish
control
pervert.
him. He's our puppet, essentially.
Yeah, sometimes Gordon gets a bit out of control. And
Also,
we
there's a
cannot
chair
do
right there, but she refuses
Yeah,
to
she
use
just
it.
Yeah.
stands there at the desk, like, forget the chair. Just
My back hurts just seeing that. I'm like, sit down, please.
I feel bad for NPCs in games. They always stand up, like, 24/7. If you ever play
They
World
never
of
go
Warcraft,
to the bathroom.
yeah, if you ever play World of Warcraft, you could stand there and watch an NPC 24/7. It just stands there in the same place with a blank
That's
stare
what
on
I
its
do.
face.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I
buy
play
World of
WoW.
Warcraft. I don't even play the game. I just stand near NPCs and watch them. That's what I do with every game. Oh, the gravity gun. It's probably the only useful thing of these two maps.
Yeah. Like, if we found a way to like skip all this crap and get into Ravenholm without doing the dark stuff.
I was so close to finding it, but I couldn't properly get out of bounds. It was really, really close to being able to skip this entire cutscene with dicking around with Dog and the gravity gun, but I was just barely not able to get out of bounds.
It would make an interesting issue though, because the gravity gun is really powerful, and I guess we actually need it for at the very end of the game actually. But yeah.
The way I was doing it, you could get the gravity gun and then go back
Ah.
and skip everything.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's right.
this teleport that I just did there, it's one of the hardest ones in the game. Sometimes you can get her all the way there, but it's very random. And it is very hard to teleport her as she goes up that incline, because I don't know why, like, the
Source.
props don't really... Yeah, Source. Because Gabe N, why not?
Because Source.
Yeah.
So, Gocnak, I don't know, maybe you want to talk about why our health is so low at this point and why we haven't bothered to fix that?
There is no health kits in these maps, surprisingly. You know, as the hospitality of Eli, you don't get to, like, have any health. Like, there's a supply crate, but that contains magnum ammo, and the only health that you're able to get is in Ravenholm, after Town 01, or out of the way in Town 01. I don't know if we looked hard enough for that,
Ironically,
but,
the Magnum is like the only gun, except for a bug bait, but that's not really a gun. That
And
we don't
crowbar.
get.
yeah. And the iconic crowbar we don't get either.
Oh, yeah, the crowbar.
So we don't have any health coming into this, so we don't have, like, we don't have the ability to get more health. But we do want more health. I mean, more health would be nice because we could take more fall damage, right? That's what we thought. Like, we were going to take we thought we were going to take fall damage in Town 01. So,
Town 01 being the first
wanted
map of
as
Ravenholm.
much health as possible, and there was a lot of drama about it. But we end up going down pretty low, coming up.
Also, there's actually a reason for us cleaning up all the stuff in here. Somebody else should take it.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Yeah,
have
Dog.
ACD.
Dog gets distracted really quick.
Yeah.
We need,
Your dog will run
needs
around
to
and try to
work.
pick up all of that shit if it's laying around. So to keep him near the dumpster and throwing stuff at you and make this go as fast as possible, we sort of clean out the scrapyard.
If you were to put Dog in an office with a computer, he wouldn't do anything. He'd just play solitaire like 24/7.
The dog way.
You know, I see
Spider
Dog
solitaire.
as more of a free cell sort of person, or maybe Minesweeper.
Yeah. I mean, backgammon too. He could probably go in it. He could doodle and paint maybe. So I throw everything over there because I just realized when I loaded this segment that we didn't have everything over there, and putting everything near that dumpster triggers Dog to go over, or makes Dog go over there. So I slam dunked the ball, and I slam dunked Gordon to go down to 1 HP here. And so this is where showboating kind of just started with this segment. Obviously, made the 3-point shot along with catching the ball. So I put everything in the dumpster here to make Dog come over here.
Yeah, because at the end of this waiting around, Dog needs to be close to the dumpster.
Because he picks it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we put him over
But
here.
this wait is pretty long.
Keep everything in there. So yeah, I'm just fucking around with Dog right now.
You should tell people what happened when you were streaming, I guess, with those things, whatever they are.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, if you hold a bin, like if Dog picks up the bin, like if you put a bin on top of a bin and Dog picks up the bin underneath it, he could potentially, like, weld them together because he has super dog strength or whatever. And they become conjoined such that, like, they're just together until you, like, launch them or pull them apart. Yeah, so this is the first time I made it this far, so I just put the bin here because I thought Dog was going to crush it, but I, unfortunately, am so off.
You're pretty off.
Yeah, I was just, that's why I shook my head no a little bit there. And
misjudged it just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little.
We realized that teleporting Alex was essentially useless here as well. Because Dog needs to come too, and you really can't teleport both of them. It's kind of hard to.
Is teleporting Dog even at all possible?
Yeah. It's done
2.
once in the run.
In episode
it's done
2,
once in Anti-Sys and one start, but...
Yeah, but I mean like the conventional way. Like...
Oh yeah, not with like a paint can or anything.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
So I'm just redecorating Black Mesa East.
White Mesa, really.
Yeah.
White Mesa now, yeah.
White Mesa, yeah.
Just a fun fact, those paint cans actually have different colors, but you only notice it when all the colors are next to each other. Because they're like
very
white is
different.
reddish, white is bluish. But
oh
you
yeah,
don't notice
there
it.
is. Yeah.
Weird teleport. What about it?
Yeah, I don't know. Alex got stuck behind Dog there. I don't know. It was just really lucky, I guess. I don't know if the paint cans had something to do with it.
I guess have we actually explained how teleport works?
Not to the specific detail. Just booping them on their head makes them teleport. Like,
Yeah.
ahead.
They think that there's something blocking their path that
Yeah.
they want to go, so the game just gives them a push and teleports them.
Yeah.
And all the tricks and glitches we do in the run will be explained in the explanation video that's either out by this time or probably not, I don't know.
It will take quite a while.
Where we'll go through the entire run in detail, explain everything, including this right here.
Yeah.
So that segment, I used the box to block Dog to get him to run faster, and then we use a script to climb up the ladder. Like 4 or 5 times as fast as you can do normally.
Yeah. So the zombies back there are Steve's, and that was a stuck launch. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to try to explain shit at this point because it just goes so quickly.
We're still at 1 HP, by the way, though.
Yeah, PS still 1 HP.
Jump. Alright.
Anyway, there's so much like only so much we can explain during the 1.5 hours this run takes. We just need a lot more time, but we wanted to do this anyway because it's really fun to do, and I hope you guys will like it as well.
Yeah. Plus, you get to hear like the origin of the run and what we thought when getting segments and working on it. It's more
we
like
were
that.
thinking about making this a bit more personal and.
Yeah. So that launch, I survived by hitting that sloped surface. Apparently, I survived this fall by surfing on the barrel. But
creating
that route
really.
that we used the grenade to explode, that actually changed. We were going to do a different route, but we found that was faster. Zim, you could probably explain that while I sprint swim. That grenade route, if you want.
Wait, which grenade route now?
The grenade that you explode and get over to the table with the health kit. We weren't going to do that. We were going to set up another stuck launch.
Oh yeah, we were going to set up a barrel and do another stuck launch off it, and then I noticed we had some extra grenades hanging around, so I got the idea, hey guys, are we using any of these grenades? And that route was kind of born. I had to land on the health kits on the table to make it possible, otherwise we died on impact.
Yeah. So yeah, we just we do some nifty ABHing to get over the map. We actually survived by edge bugging off of the tilted tanker there? I think it was a tanker.
Tilted tanker.
Yeah.
We didn't actually know it was possible. We were actually going to stop on that segment but I was trying the segment and randomly got that and could never replicate it, so we went ahead and got that.
I just used it. Winston gets a little bit of Gordon's sweaty HEV balls, but other than that, I mean, Gordon's just like a male cat. He needs to drag them everywhere.
I guess Winston's thirsty, so we just help him out.
Oh god.
Anyway, this cutscene is pretty much like quiet before the storm.
Yep. This is leading into coast. It's actually a very big taunt to Leon and Norco, who's the crane operator.
Oh god.
Leon says somewhere that that we take he won't last 5 minutes on foot, which is kind of funny.
Because we don't.
We get done before 5 minutes. So yeah.
This is a nice build-up to coast, though. That is one of the most impressive or entertaining, I guess, parts of the run. Because you're normally supposed to take the car, obviously, but we don't. Because that's actually a part where we don't have to take the airboat or car or whatever. We can actually do it all by ABHing and launching.
Yeah, for those of you that haven't seen a Half-Life 2 run since Half-Life 2 Done Quick, your minds are about to be, like, blown.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement.
If you're drinking stuff right now, stop doing it.
Your monitor will be covered in it.
Before we start Coast, can I just say, Norco is a bitch.
Yeah. You'll hear it in her tone while I do this first level. So, alright.
Here we go.
So we don't take the cart. It's not a necessity. We have.
Even though it's all ready for you.
It's all ready for me to.
I'm sorry, that's the only one. It had to be done.
Oh man.
But no, Norco will yell at you to get back to the pier, even if you're dead.
So here we had to stop to take the RPG to fight the ships on Nova Prospect.
Yeah, Prisoner 1. But we get right back up to speed with a stuck launch off the car. So that's awesome.
Edge bug again.
Yep, edge
That's
bug.
how we survive.
I land on the very edge of.
And here comes my first segment.
Yeah, this is my launch into the air, and then Darwin makes the landing.
With another edge bug.
Yeah, with another edge bug, and now we're on sand traps.
And
this in the tunnels is the most RNG thing ever. I don't know how the bounce off the cars worked like that.
Yeah.
It was basically us trying forever, and out of nowhere you just got that, and we weren't even anywhere close to getting that fast of a segment in that part.
Yeah.
It just got it perfect. That's also almost task-like.
Jesus Christ, we're already almost done with Coast.
Yep, we're already on Coast 11. Laszlo here.
Insane.
You there, stop and that's all you hear of him and Laszlo. I think that was Tyrone again. Tyrone just follows us throughout the run, through both single segment runs and,
Not only did we get the achievement there, but we didn't touch the sand at all, and the guy didn't get eaten by antlions, so...
Yeah.
Everybody's a winner.
Speedrunning Gordon is the best.
I basically slingshot out of this tunnel and set it up for Darwin.
This is beautiful.
This is
oh, here we go. This is my part. Like, how I got that segment was really thanks to Zimbabwe, actually, because we were like trying it for so long. It was so random, just a boost that you had to get done. And out of nowhere, I was like, okay, so how do you really AFH? I know AFHing is just pressing, or S really, in the proper timing, but he just said to me before an attempt, no, you just have to click S really fast and exactly when you land, like at the exact moment. I was like, okay, I'll try that, and the very next attempt I got it, thanks to Sim.
You're welcome.
I love how the
Thank
gunship.
Yeah, so you can talk
crates
about the
open.
gunships.
Yeah, basically this was my favorite map in the game back when I did the segment. I think it still is. So I want to do the at least one segment taking down the first gunship, and I had a lot of fun grinding it. Like, people told me split the segment up, and I was like, no, I want to do this in one go. I will feel so accomplished when I finally get like 2 blind RPG shots, 2 grenade shots at the gunship, and like the
Going
rest
through the fire and the flames.
in one go.
because we had enough health too. And then hitting a trigger. This is on a timer here. You did blind shots there because the gunship actually spawns behind that like building area place in the background. And you can shoot a rocket back there if you shoot it past the building and then curve it around.
Yeah.
And it'll curve into it, and you'll see a bit of that in the explanation video.
And basically you want to shoot that gunship early, not only to get it killed early, but like hitting the first 2 rockets spawns the second gunship. And the second gunship actually takes a while to fly from its spawn point to a place where you can hit it while still being close to the end of the map.
So this is the first use of Schrodinger's crouch. If you crouch, uncrouch, and then crouch again before you stand up completely, the camera gets stuck in place, like in where it is, wherever you press crouch again. And that, I found you can poke your head through a ceiling and essentially hit and like interact with stuff through the ceiling as well. So that's what made Prison 03 a lot like on like par with Done Quick, because they had, the old engine had the ability to hit it through the ceiling. We can't.
Done Quick actually had the ability to pick up objects through the walls, like in Town 1A, they pick up a medkit through the wall.
Yeah.
So it was actually the old engine that just allowed them to press E.
I think walls were just collision for Gordon, just not his pickup radius. I think they took away his pickup radius through walls and gave it to the airboat or something.
Yeah, the airboat pickup radius is like crazily big.
Yeah.
And here was some weird game lock where you basically activate the elevator in the next room and it just doesn't arrive, and we couldn't progress, so we had to redo some segments and figure out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I remember that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically,
for some reason,
whenever you record a demo and hit a map load, it records an _2 demo, and what we tend to do is to stop that demo straight away and then save. But if you get a 0.0_2 demo, for some maps things just tend to break, and that was one of them. And this elevator that we're in now, just basically one of the doors would open and then the elevator would go up, but the other doors wouldn't open, so you couldn't get in, so you'd be stuck there infinitely.
Soft lock, as we call it, where the game freezes, but I mean, like something key in the game freezes, but the game doesn't. Like the game overall doesn't freeze. A hard lock would be if the game freezes as a complete, like HL2.exe has stopped responding.
Best.
That's a hard lock.
Best way to end a run.
Yeah. So this is on Trigger's first segment and only segment.
So
teleports.
Entanglement is cutscene, a bit of gameplay,
Cutscene, the chapter 2.
Drawing, gameplay, cutscene, and then you get you finish the cutscene and then another cutscene.
Yep.
And
I guess this is the second to last complete halt of the run, really, before the end cutscenes. Am I right?
Yeah.
I guess we saw with Barney some, but that's really not considered a long cutscene.
This cutscene is so long, I think it counts as 5 cutscenes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is there is some gameplay parts in between each part though.
And at least we keep tradition alive by drawing on the wall.
Yeah. The drawing on the wall is really fun, and we haven't found a way to skip that battle. And the drawing is fun, so we don't mind that we can skip the battle, I guess. Although it would save 3 minutes. You'll see what we draw when we get there.
Yeah.
So much cutscene.
It's all emotional and stuff, and we're jumping on Alex's head and jamming this
stabbing
wood piece in her ass. And we really after grinding this segment, I'm sure Matmo, you don't really take cutscenes seriously after a while.
Yeah. No, you really don't.
And you get creative with whatever you can find.
Yep,
As
especially
Matmo
doing it
clearly
in her
shows.
ear.
Quite frankly, there's nothing to do in this room, but we brought a piece of wood with us to teleport with, and that does more than...
And swing around. While
It's a
Eli
very-
has to helplessly watch his daughter get penetrated by wood.
It's a very versatile piece of wood. But he's fine with it.
Yeah, he's
Apparently.
completely fine. Apparently
Totally
he's used to it or
unfazed.
something. Vortigaunt's helped relieve her back in Eli, so...
Let's get out of here.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Oh, and I should probably explain a trick in this next room. There's a trigger on the other side of this door, and if you hit it fast enough, Alex will run to her destination instead of walking, because Alex needs to go to a certain terminal for her to appear on the screen and open the next gate for you, and so on. And it's like a 40-second time saver or something. It's pretty random.
Yes.
Yeah, this is so slow in the normal game when you do this normally. You just wait here for ever. But now she's already starting to talk on the monitor behind us.
She has to travel quite a distance, and she usually does that by walking, but you can, I guess, you can glitch her out and like hit the trigger to make her move before she goes into stop running mode. It's really weird.
And basically, we're spamming jump through the vents to go faster, because in the old engine, you could actually sprint and then crouch, and then sprint while crouching, whereas you can't do that in the new engine, so we have to do something else to get just as fast. I don't know if it's just as fast, but it's still fast.
You know, I don't think we mentioned this yet, but it really should go without saying, but we are playing on the hard difficulty, so all of these combat segments, all of this damage you see us take, all of this is done on hard.
Oh god, that window jump. This phase
So
on your
beautiful.
like coated in butter. It's all the sweat. Probably. Just indoors. This is a really nice
this
area.
electricity room is like probably the best part of Entanglement.
It's over
you know,
in
it's
like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, well, the parts around it as well, because it's like one of the few actual gameplay parts that aren't cutscene.
Also, we pick up the turrets there just to activate them to, like, also activate this entire combat scene faster.
Yeah.
And there's something interesting. In the new engine, what we run on, the combat scene actually triggers 15 seconds later than on the old engine, so we automatically lose 15 seconds on this map. And there's nothing we can do about it.
But that's also 15 more seconds to draw stuff.
Yeah.
So we could see it like that.
Dom,
So, what to do? What to do?
Dom,
What is
you,
this, a circle?
Can you tell what it is? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
adding
it looks
stick
like
or
a key.
something?
I think it's a key.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a
key.
keyhole.
Oh, no, no, it's-
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, it's
Starting
a
to look like a
hammer.
flower.
That,
No, it's
I
a
see a
hammer.
flower.
Those look like the roots.
Oh, it looks like a bone with one of the
Oh my
ends
god,
missing.
Gordon!
Yeah, maybe it's.
Gordon.
Oh,
Wow. Dom, really?
Dom, seriously, Dom, this is a good run, and you have to taint it with this.
Wait.
Oh wait,
Oh,
what are you
oh,
doing?
oh,
Now what are you doing?
That
You
That's
split
a
up
really
some
easy
must
stick.
hurt.
What is the? Oh,
What? Huh?
What is going on?
adding a second head. What is the? Oh,
I think this is like mutant.
yeah, it's.
Probably
It's a
some
Cyclops.
sort of zombie, maybe.
Oh, now it has things sprouting out of it. Wait, that looks
is
like a
that
crowbar.
a crowbar?
Looks like it. It's Peabody, I think, with the crowbar.
Yeah, it looks like Peabody.
Oh,
What is going on?
it's a gravity gun.
Wait, that looks like the gravity gun too.
Or the
Yeah.
portal.
It's not Peabody then. Like, why
it
does
can't be.
Peabody have a crowbar and have gravity? Oh,
Oh?
Oh.
here.
Oh. Oh.
I see.
That mouth.
Sorry for ever doubting you, Gordon.
It's Gordon Penis Man.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, we're just waiting here for Alex to come here. If we get up in this room, the triggers for more guards to spawn doesn't activate, and we just wait around. It's on a timer for her, so when she says like, "All right, I'm on my way," that's when we go down. She'll hear.
Well, we want to go down a bit earlier though to get rid of the combines.
Oh yeah, to get rid of the guards.
Still there.
Yeah.
Actually, this LL2CC, which Don draws here, was originally drawn in Half-Life 2 done quick, but in DWaHMoV it will turn out a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I want to point out here that this game is set in the far distant future. There's like fucking airships that fly on magic power and all of this other stuff, but they still can't invent a flashlight battery that lasts for more than 2 minutes.
Yeah. No, the flashlight battery lasts like 30 seconds, I think.
They made it kind of better in episode 2, which makes no
Oh
sense
yeah,
by the
they
way.
made it.
because,
They
like,
didn't made it not use the suit.
Yeah.
They made it.
And
Just
it's
its
lasts
own power.
slightly longer as well, but it makes no sense really, because like, why would your suit do that between episode 1 and episode 2? Like, does it have some kind of auto update feature or something? Like,
Yeah, it
like
patches itself.
the suit is like on Steam, dude. Like, it's auto updates.
The suit got updated to Steam Pipe.
Yeah.
What I want to know is why would sprinting even affect your flashlight in the first place?
Yeah, or like swimming.
What physical
like oxygen.
explanation does that have? Yeah,
The
or
ball
breathing.
Oh, you're the
starts
physicist.
jiggling around. I don't know. So this is we actually had to wait for Alex a little bit there. If you don't wait for Alex, she'll just get stuck at that last map. So
There's a couple of times you have to do that actually.
yeah.
Yeah, Alex is really annoying. She's like always like slowing you down. I can't think of a useful thing she does in this game. I know one useful thing in episode 2, but that's really it. She gives you medkits in episode 2, but I guess that's for a different, like not for this context.
Well, she can give you a gun.
We don't need guns though.
Fuck guns.
So these teleports are really hard. Getting her down the stairs is probably really hard to do, like the hardest teleport in this segment.
Yeah, it seems like slanted surfaces and teleporting is not a good combination.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And then I do mess up this teleport. I thought she was gonna move right when she said that, but I teleport her anyway. But then I realized I actually did an ent_teleport to her. I tested this out. It's the same speed. Like if you teleport her right there, she has to take a second to realize that she's at the window for some
Yeah.
reason.
Oh, I'm over
Yeah,
here.
teleports.
Yeah, and then she like turns and then starts stalking. So we just accepted that.
Teleports don't always save time. Most of the
Yeah.
time, speeches aren't based on NPCs reaching a certain location. They're just on a timer. But we teleport anyway because it's the only fun thing to do.
And stare at asses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Matmo, the ass stirring expert. You even got one of your asters featured in the trailer for the run.
Yeah, the first trailer.
And one could argue that that's just a silly thing, but since you're seeing in the run, it's a big thing. It's a big feature in the run, so I guess it shows it off.
So much cutscene.
Yeah, this is the longest map in the run because of cutscene. Matmo, you want to explain why you were hovering the PC there?
Yeah, so Alex got stuck on the other side of the door, and because the door's blocking her way, she'll want to teleport, and she teleports to a specific node on the ground. And basically what I did is I put the object where the node is that she was going to teleport, so that when she teleported, she skipped that node and went to the next one, so she went forward in her teleporting.
It's basically a double teleport.
Basically, yeah. And you'll also see me pause a few times during this segment. I was trying to eat while doing this segment because I figured it was a cutscene.
There you go, folks. The secret behind YaLTeR. Eating when doing segments.
Yeah.
Well, especially cutscene segments. Allows you try eating while doing coast segments. Oh my god. Well, I mean, you could probably.
We could have skipped Airboat, but we chose not to, so we could eat while doing segments.
While doing one hand on the WASD keys and one.
Yeah,
hand
that's all you need.
On our potato
One hand
chips
in your soup
and-
bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in position for.
It's like a robotic duck almost.
And this is one of the points where I kind of stop for a moment, and then I'm like, oh shit, I need to go back and stare at her ass.
Yeah. Bounce
It-
that bat. Bounce it back.
That's the
It
most
became a
important
thing that needed to happen. Every time there was a good opportunity to stare at an ass, I took it.
Yeah, especially when Alex shakes it, or says no, stop. What are you doing? It's the best time to stare at her ass.
The floor is lava. To the moon.
Yeah, so this is cutscene and combat, but the combat is pretty easy, so it's basically cutscene.
Yeah. It's timer based as well.
Something that can happen with this room is basically you're waiting for an elevator and there's a bunch of combine coming, but sometimes the combine randomly stop coming, which is what happens. So it just became very, very boring for me.
Yeah, you just stand around. You have nothing to do other than scavenge for ammo and other stuff.
Pretty much. And you'll see me pushing Alex back to the terminal with, what is that, like a...
Computer case.
Yeah, computer case. Because when the elevator, not elevator, teleporter is down the bottom, she has to run back to the terminal for her speech to start, so if she's already there, it saves time.
Basically, one wants NPCs to be where they need to be at the end of an event. In this case, the combat section. And because it saves time, obviously, and this is speedrun, so in case you haven't figured it out.
Pay some tribute to Prison 07.
Matmo was jealous, he wanted to draw.
I already drew once in this map with
yeah,
a
he
smiley
drew.
face.
Yeah, at the start.
I like his smiley faces. I wish we had
Smiley
more of them.
faces, even though they're creepy as all hell. Like, just without a. I mean, the Combine also draw too.
Yeah,
like, on the wall.
It looks like
abstract art.
Yeah, abstract. I think it's like desperation or something.
Like those splatter paintings where you just throw a whole can of paint at a canvas and see what comes out.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and sell it for $5 million. That's how art works.
You can draw a masterpiece that looks like super realistic, and no one will buy it.
No, Alex, keep going back. No, Alex, bad. That's how I.
Should just put it on elites.
But if you just picture it, it's this guy that never talks, holding this computer case, shoving it into you. Of course, you're going to move away from him.
And a really fun thing you can do is if you pick up something that isn't solid, like a weapon that's on the ground, you can actually get her to go inside of the elevator through the force field before the elevator's down.
But she still has to activate it, right?
She
So
still
that's
has to
not
activate it,
helpful.
yeah, so it's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Doesn't she
can
clip
also
to the
get
floor?
pushed under? Yeah.
Yeah, she gets pushed into the floor and the game is soft locked in.
Yeah. If you push her too close, like the elevator pushes her, or God, the teleporter pushes her into the ground.
It looks like an elevator.
I know it is an elevator. It's an elevator.
It is both.
Teleporter.
Elevator into
It's a
a
televator porter.
Eleporter.
Yeah, eleporter.
The televator.
Televator. There we go.
Okay, so you
Televator.
think with this, finally the cutscenes are done, but actually, no.
More
Yeah.
cutscenes incoming.
So
And
yeah,
there's a
Matmo's
bunch
saying-
of Combine that are supposed to come in there and just destroy your turrets, but I had one turret that managed to kill every single Combine in that room.
Yeah, that's kind of rare.
Super turret. Is
I've
what we...
never had it happen before, and it just so happened to be the segment.
NIP stationary turret.
Yeah, it's really you know, you have something happen in a segment and like, oh my god, that's so awesome, I want to keep this segment. Of course, you're not trying to get the most awesome segment, you're trying to get the fastest segment. So unfortunately, most of the segments that have like fun stuff like that don't make it to the end.
Yeah, that's what tricks and outtakes videos are for. Yeah.
Yeah, we have outtakes for that, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of outtakes. Who's gonna make that?
We have, yeah, we still need to make it.
I don't think it's the highest priority right now.
No, it's not.
No, we have a lot of other stuff we need to do.
We must have it out. Yeah, we'll have it out like soon.
Just for the
audio
record,
commentary and explanation to do.
We are recording this before the actual
release of the run. So
yeah, we're actually recording this on America Day. So happy America Day, everyone.
Yeah, yeah, we're watching.
Not for Matmo.
I live in Australia.
Feel blessed and on high favor.
It's 4 a.m. for him.
We're watching this on a less lower quality encode. The actual encode isn't even done.
Yeah, it is. It's just not uploaded.
Yeah, well, yeah, it finished just a couple hours before we started this, actually.
Alright, yeah, I didn't know that.
That's good.
Yeah, cool. That's
so we stare at dog's ass too. No person goes away from Gordon without getting their ass stared at.
While this cutscene is going on, should we like talk something about what SourceRuns even is, like how we got together and
I guess
why we're here today?
Let's start with Half-Life 2 Done Quick, I guess. Half-Life 2 Done Quick did Half-Life 2, of course, on the old engine. That was really long ago.
2006, if I recall correctly.
Like
2006.
And
back on Google Video.
Yeah.
Yep.
And basically, Suga from Half-Life 2 Done Quick did an episode 1 run. I don't think it's like anywhere to be found. I have never seen it, at least. And that inspired, ultimately that inspired In Existence, Typical, Centaurium, and a bunch of other people. Crazy Fist.
Formerly known as School, by the way. Centaurium.
Yeah, Centaurium, formerly known as School. To do episode 1 Done Quick. And yeah, that's kind of was the start of SourceRuns. With episode 1 Done Quick. And funny, if you go to the old Half-Life 2 Done Quick forums, there's actually a post on there that says, "We have moved to sourceruns.org."
Yep. That's even how I found SourceRuns at all. I asked for like an AutoHotkey script. That's the software we use for scripting bunny hops and whatnot. And I asked for it. I just searched for Done Quick, found the forums, asked about it, got an answer. A couple of years later, I had some other problem I needed to be solved, so I asked for it, and somebody referred me to, yeah, we moved our forums to SourceRuns.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, registered, and here we are.
Yep. And after episode 1 Done Quick, I guess people started working in episode 2 Done Quick. That never finished for whatever obscure reason.
Only dog tell.
Not yet.
Not yet. And like, I'm not sure. They started running mods and all kind of cool stuff. And eventually, I know that I got into SourceRuns when I wanted to look up Portal 2 co-op strats. This was not really that long ago even. But eventually the idea came up with YaLTeR, as mentioned earlier. And we in SourceRuns started posting, and with Half-Life 2 DWaHMoV that brought a lot of new people like Gocnak and me and plenty of other people into the SourceRuns community. And
so I just MacGyvered it right there.
Yeah, when we don't have a ramp, we just build our own.
Yeah.
That's the SourceRuns way.
I punt the sheet of metal there to produce enough height, and then getting a launch off of it as well produces the speed to get over.
Oh, and this segment is a really long one that I got. Basically what I'm doing right here is getting to the trigger at the end, right here, that triggers this guy. Tyrone. Waited for him to actually, Tyrone, to actually confirm that he's talking, and he's reacted to me arriving. And we were working for this, or on this for so long, and I eventually got this start of the segment, and I knew when I got it that this will be it. This was like the fastest you could get it. So you can even see on my mouse movements that they're jittery, they're stuttery, they're like fast. Because right now I'm so nervous that I'll fuck up and I'll have to redo that, or somebody else will have to redo that. I even stopped this ABH right here to just slowly walk backwards, because sometimes if you go too fast there's a sloped surface that you die from. So I take it really cool here and just hope I don't fuck up.
And it's a timer too. This segment
exactly.
to get through the through that rubble that Tyrone is blowing up.
Yeah, you have to
so I'm just killing manhacks and getting some supplies.
Yeah,
and being nervous.
Yeah, that's why he's going back there and stuff. He doesn't have to always be over here, and you don't have to kill everyone. It's just a timer. It times up with the song, I think, too.
Kaboom.
So this is...
Yeah, that explosion doesn't actually hurt you.
That gap that I just ABH through is exactly the same width of Gordon Freeman. So it was a very specific, like, you have to get very specific when you get that, like, ABH up there. Get through it. Oh, Pruno.
And the radiator jump.
This is beautiful.
Yes.
Took me so much time to do it.
Right into the window.
Right into the window, yeah.
Alright, so coming up here, I've got a segment where I fight all the Combine and then, you know, progress forward. If at any point in here this combat looks slow, like I get stuck on a wall or something, it's not. This is literally the fastest it can go. If you go too fast, Alex actually gets stuck and she won't follow you, making the game uncompletable.
Yeah, it happened to me in a single segment run. It's so annoying. You
That's
kill
what
them
we
too
call
fast, and she
permaglitched.
just... Yeah, or soft, yeah.
Which is another thing fixed by Steampipe. So thank you, Steampipe.
Thanks,
For doing
Valve.
it too late.
You dicks.
Getting some suit.
This was done before Steampipe. Obviously, we mentioned that Steampipe conversion was in beta at around when was it? It was after Coast. It was
The teleport.
City 17. Yeah, that teleport with Radiator.
Yeah.
But we decided not to because Steampipe didn't really like our demos.
Yeah.
And then
Plus,
there's
like we were already done with the Airboat parts.
Once again,
There's-
making my own ramp.
Like
Fucking
Steampipe
hell.
is actually slower on the very end of the game, so we decided to just keep it here. Do it on one version and not update in the middle of the run.
Once again, where sprint crawling would have been very useful is in this. We had the disadvantage there, but we jumped right down here. What's coming up is another grab punt stuck launch thing that I do using this catwalk.
That became a theme in City 17.
Yeah.
City 17.
All the way up.
is
There's a
special.
trigger up here. That's why we had to get all the way up. We didn't just stop at the doors there. Those doors only open if you hit the trigger on that catwalk all the way up there.
Here we edge glitch off a box.
Hedgebow, yeah. Pruno did that. That was really nice.
Simply mind-blowing.
Matmo's impatient. Open the doors before they do.
So coming up is my personal favorite, like, 30-second bit of the run. There's just so much stuff crammed into this 30-second bit coming up. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
And it's also the other use of Schrodinger's crouch, but with a bit of a twist to it this time.
Yeah, that one was spectacular.
Yeah.
Let's. Yeah, the upcoming map
Just
is.
teleport. Boop.
The upcoming map is super random because you're completely reliant on Barney. But we managed to make it like really fast, and Barney wasn't even like trying to be annoying.
So we fly up, fall down, land on the car, boost off the car, land on the plug. The
Take
box just
crate.
goes through the fence because why the fuck not?
Those fences have you can grab things through it. It's weird.
And this is also really beautiful.
I like the
here.
box on top
Don't
of
break
it,
the
right?
box.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
break the
imagine
box.
all the things that this box has gone through, and it's still not.
Hunt the orb
I've
through the
even
ceiling.
Like, how did that last grenade not explode the box?
Exactly.
If you actually see the explosion mark on the ground, I hid the grenade behind that corner, but it was enough to tilt the box and not break it.
Nice.
It's really weird. I don't know. It took a long time to do. It took like 3 days, I think.
And then Matmo
Trying.
does some sexy ABHs through
Yep.
tight corridors.
Indoors ABH.
And then he shoots this, and then it's me again, actually. This is one of my segments, 7 segments. I
Yep.
bring this table, killing these guys. And the hard part about this, because we skipped one of the rooms by doing crouch, like Schrodinger's crouch, we don't have any orbs, because that one room has 3 orbs in it, and that would satisfy our needs. We skipped that room. So I
Yeah.
actually had to pick up the orbs from the combine I just killed, but because I'm using an orb to kill them in the first place, their guns fizzle. But for some reason, the orbs they drop do fizzle, but you can still pick them up while they're fizzling. And it's
Yeah,
probably
you keep
because they're
picking them.
orbs to begin with, so you can't orb an orb, and like, I don't know.
And we put those orbs to
But
good
yeah,
use.
you
right
had
there
to pick
up that
you had to
stairwell.
pick up those orbs before they disappear, and that's a pretty small time frame.
Yeah, Matmo broke open that crate for the 3 nades, and then that survival was just an edge bug off of the railing. And then edge bug there by Pruno off of the, oh god.
It's worth noting that for the next few maps, we cannot lose health.
God, that's
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
we cannot lose health, and we needed 145 for
yeah,
Citadel
100 health and
2.
45 suit.
So we do hit a trigger here. That moon jump that I did went through a trigger, which triggers the Strider that's shooting into that building to blow it up, like you just heard, and it starts shooting you, like right there. You see it, and I can't get hit by it.
No,
Also, this is worth explaining
yeah,
Yeah.
why the triggers work like they do with dog.
Basically, I'm waiting here because there's one trigger that makes dog appear, and there's one trigger that makes the combine
Up here?
disappear, kill. It does something with the combine, but
It has to
because
do
the
with
combine
combine.
aren't
Yeah.
there to begin with, if you hit the combine trigger and then the dog trigger too quickly, dog soft locks, like
Yeah,
usual.
he just stands at this place. And he
So
doesn't
we
open
have
it.
to wait like 10 seconds before hitting the dog's trigger after hitting the combine trigger.
Or benefactors.
Yep.
So this is Citadel 1 by me.
I think the Citadel is probably my favorite part of the run. It's really awesome.
Same here.
Especially the pod ABH.
Yeah. Moon jump all the way over here.
I
and
like-
then this segment.
Pod
ABH
ABH.
off the pods. This map, our original route, we were gonna fly on this box the entire way, and we got to the end, and in our initial testing, we were losing over 45 seconds on Half-Life 2 Done Quick. So one day Matmo and I sat down and we just thought there has to be a better way, and we spent 2 hours coming up with this monstrosity of a route. And we ended up saving... How much time did we end up save?
12? Like, it's in the tens of seconds.
Yeah.
12 or 15, something like that, seconds.
Yeah. And then this needs to be explained as well. If you stand too close to the field here, you can actually grab back your weapons because you're outside of the trigger that Valve has for your gun prevention.
Also, if you're too close to the force field, it won't work at all. And I had to experience that when working on the segment just before that one. Because
Yeah, if you
I
save,
eventually,
like, in the
Gocnak told me
maps,
to, out of nowhere, I was like, oh, finally got this segment after working for so hard, or for so long. And you told me, no, it's too close to the force field, we can't do the weapon grab. And I'm like, okay, well, sure. And I redid
Alright, so
it.
there's an elevator in this map, Citadel 4, that you can basically skip by doing this. It's an orb launch. You tilt the monitor just right and shoot an orb at it, and the physics of the orb hitting it flips you all the way up to the intended salute. So that saves, I think it saves like 2 minutes and 50 seconds around there to do that orb launch.
Shoutouts to Tactical Toe Strike, who was one of Gocnak's stream viewers. He was actually the person that got that.
Gocnak and everyone else, I guess, tried to get that, and we were like, we cannot get this, dude. We couldn't. And like Gocnak tried it on the stream one day, and then suddenly, like,
I handed out the save because they were like, you know, what if I could try? I'm like, okay, whatever. I hand out the practice save, and they get it within an hour. And I'm just amazed. Like two people, Grachev, shout out to him as well. He got the orb launch as well. He got too high actually. He went so high up that he died by landing on the place that we're supposed to go. So Grachev and Tactical Toast.
We have been talking about that orb launch for so long. Like I remember you, especially Gocnak, talking about the orb launch all the way back in Coast.
Yeah, that orb launch had us nervous for a long time. Because
that's also a reason we handed the save out.
We were reading all posts from Half-Life 2 on Quick as well, and they said like, oh, it's pretty easy. I know of at least 10 ways to get up there, and we were like, what?
10 ways?
Yeah, because we could barely figure out how to do it one way.
Yeah. We still don't know what those 10 ways are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We made it, and and then cutscene.
And here we go, cutscene again.
Yeah, well, while we're in the cutscene, I do want to say that for a lot of us, this run finally coming out is the completion of a full circle. A lot of us really got into speedrunning from Half-Life 2 done quick, and for us to finally be, you know, completing the cycle and improving upon it ourselves, it's such a good feeling. Like, you, the viewers, I hope you guys can even try to imagine that. It's such an amazing feeling for all of us.
And we have been working so much on this run. I hope it shows as well. It certainly shows in the time. 1:27, that's crazy.
All things we gotta mention though that this is on the ABH engine. Valve Half-Life 2 done quick did not have ABH to their
advantage.
Yeah, neither we or people watching the run should be like, oh wow, this is an improvement over done quick, because while it is, it's still an improvement, or it's still another run, because it's not the same engine.
It might as well be a completely different game.
Yeah, it should be viewed as a different engine. A completely new world record.
The differences between old and new engine are so big that you can't just compare the runs to each other. It's like comparing Portal to a Mirror's Edge speedrun. It just doesn't work.
This is also another map where 0.0 breaks things. If you would get a 0.0_2 demo and then save on the previous map, you would load this map up, and then about halfway through the cutscene, Breen would disappear and escape, and you would die.
Alex even Alex is it triggers weird. Like and we should probably explain what an _2 is. An _2 demo is a transition demo between levels. When you record a demo and hit a load, like for a next map, Source automatically records another demo, because loading a map causes a demo to stop. It automatically records another demo, but it's the same name with an _2 attached to it, and that's what we call the _2 demo. So saving right away, like when the map was loading, would produce a 0.0 for the time, which is very useful because that doesn't count for the next map time. And doing that here would obviously cause Breen to escape early.
It actually doesn't have to do with the _2 demo. It actually has to do with when you save after loading the map. Technically, when you save after getting a 0.0 _2 demo, it just means you saved while the map hasn't properly been loaded yet, and it just breaks.
Yeah, we hit too many triggers, I guess.
Even in this situation, Gordon is still a perv.
Yeah, Gordon doesn't really care about being captured.
He's bonded, bound up. He's still pervy.
The world is about to end, but he doesn't care. He has stuff to look at.
Getting the last stares of those tits and ass. Yeah.
He can't lose the opportunity.
Exactly.
Alex is so focused on Breen, she doesn't even notice.
Yeah.
Well,
Mossman's
she
just
will
standing
notice
there
in a while.
awkwardly.
She noticed
She
when
will
going up
notice.
the elevator.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she'll notice.
I think Gordon gets a bit carried away, and that'll show.
Yeah. Gordon gets a bit too much a rapist.
Has anybody figured out the mystery of how this pod was put into this room? I mean, it wasn't really
Yes,
on a rail.
I thought about that.
I think it was just like, I don't know, carried by a scanner maybe.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. I asked
There's no
Zimbabwe
rails.
about it. It's
A
just
manhack
floating.
just has a toe on it and just lifts Gordon over.
Probably an advisor doing his magic.
Advisor. With his tentacle.
Like
tongue thing.
I mean, Breen is talking to one about a host body,
Yeah.
and like he also.
And there
tells-
are some in episode 1. There are some in the Citadel.
Yeah.
Valve recently updated the game to localize it to a couple of different languages, including Korean. And for those of you that didn't read the news articles, it got glitched so that every user was stuck in Korean voice acting. This cutscene is hysterical to listen to in Korean. No offense to anybody who speaks Korean.
Spoiler, Breen is Kim Jong-un.
Alright, so this is where the run really
That
gets
ABH.
interesting.
Yeah, we need this statue.
The rubber statue that won't break.
Yeah, it just doesn't break. It just disappears.
Impervious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it disappears if you take it down the elevator coming up, like the second elevator going down, not the one going up. It just disappears when you bring it.
So he was trying to flip the statue so it's face up. Ease of teleporting.
Yeah, Breen doesn't get to see Alex from the top. He gets to look at the ceiling.
And Gordon gets to look at boobs and getting caught.
And she's
Look at Alex. She's like.
she's all
mother,
emotional.
father,
And we're like, yeah.
thanking
okay.
him.
You know, and
Because
then we just,
she hasn't noticed yet, but she will. She's about to. There he goes. Oh! Nope. There he goes again. No!
Oh man.
I saw that Alex
Poor
did
Gordon.
that, and I just had to have that in. It was too perfect.
Yeah. This is Breen Climb. If you ever watch any single segment runs live, we call it the Breen Climb. To climb up with Breen's statue to land on Breen's face.
And have the most awkward moment
Awkward elevator ride. And he's trying to escape,
And
but
stare at
we
Breen's ass.
Hey, how's it
have
going?
to stare at that ass.
No ass is safe.
You know.
So,
And Breen apparently clothed
so-
himself because he's in the
Yeah.
bubble right now.
So I have to get up onto this, and there's a trigger that opens up his pod that I curve over and hit, and I shoot an orb that I grab in midair into it as well.
yeah. And then
And that's the
And-
run.
And yeah, and S. But we do have a bit of a special ending after this because we do it so fast. This gunship spawns.
Yep,
S,
it
you can take
spawns
over.
after the game told it to die, so it's not dead. And yeah,
And it shoots you and Alex.
Bye-bye.
And well, oh
Oops.
man, Alex.
That's going to be difficult to explain to Eli.
Yeah, episode 1 might not happen now.
Eli, you're not gonna get grandkids. Sorry.
There's still a chance. Oh,
Pathetic.
This-
you
I
know,
think
he's just
this-
gonna go pluck
yeah.
midair really quickly.
This could be explained as a
G-Man,
demo artifact, right? The
Yeah,
projection
this
of
is
G-Man
the
just
projection.
floating around.
yeah,
Yeah,
G-Man's
it's really-
protection breaks in demo recording, so I kind of had to work around it. I was going to teabag Alex, but her body is also like where, like
Yeah.
her body is not where it was when I actually did this segment.
The ultimate teabagging.
Body ragdoll just goes everywhere. So.
And then I was going to like put a close-up of G-Man's ass, but because G-Man also wasn't where he was supposed to be in demo playback, I couldn't do that, unfortunately. So maybe, like, I'll just explain like this: killing Alex, Gordon finally satisfied his needs, and Gordon is
Yep.
free.
Because there's a lot of times in the run where we had to wait for Alex, but that's it. That's it.
That's it.
DWaHMoV.
That's DWaHMoV for you. done with a high magnitude of velocity for those of you who still don't know the abbreviation. And I guess the last piece of explanation is that the credits that are rolling right now, what you do is just grab there's a file called credits.txt that they use for the source engine. We just edit it and put our names instead.
Yep.
That's basically it.
Anyway,
anybody could do it.
If you guys want to say, give some shoutouts or say something, I guess.
Yeah, I actually want to give a couple shoutouts to everybody who worked in the run. You guys did fucking awesome. I know I did a lot of it, but like still, you guys did really well.
You stole all the segments.
Sorry. But I also want to give a shout out to my stream, because I did actually start streaming ever since like train station levels actually, and I slowly gained more and more people that wanted to view the progress of this run, so shout outs to them as well.
I've just got 2 shout outs to Shining Face, because he's awesome.
Oh yeah.
And shout outs to Momnak for giving Gocnak a bedtime.
Yes.
Shout outs to Exec, Dark Evil, Cameron D, Tactical Toast Strike, and On Trigger, and Inexistence for getting segments. They weren't in this audio commentary though.
Unfortunately.
I want to get a shout out to Jesus TF2 for actually helping out with producing the trailer for the run by giving me a Canadian dollar. So thank you, Jesus. It was well invested.
And shout out to Matmo's friend, who's a part of Gocnak's stream and who regularly watches.
Yeah.
Just so he gets on there.
I'd like to shout out to Centurion and Demon Strafe and everyone else who helped with the first planning. So also Codazad who ran a fight event, but
he did try some challenges.
Tool and Ing, is that his name?
Yeah.
Ig.
All right.
Iggy.
Well, I guess do we feel like we're ready with the shoutouts?
Yep.
We're done with
Yeah.
them. Cool.
Yep.
So thank you guys so much for watching the run. We really enjoyed you watching, and especially this audio commentary for sitting us through with us for so long.
Yep.
And have a good one, and watch the explanation video if you want to.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
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 Lamar! Blast that little... Where did she get to?